When a woman wants an older man, she tests him with these two questions: psychology tricks. Welcome to our channel. It's Stoicism Win, where you find interesting and useful knowledge from the Stoic philosophers to lead a happy and good life. As Epictetus reminds us, first learn the meaning of what you say and then speak. In love, that wisdom goes even deeper. Learn the meaning of what is not said as well. Have you ever had the feeling that a woman was drawn to you, yet she never came right out and said it? For many older men, this is exactly how attraction begins. It does not always arrive through obvious flirting or dramatic signals. More often, it comes quietly: a look that lingers a little longer, a question that seems casual but is not casual at all, a moment that feels small on the surface yet carries real meaning underneath. When a woman is interested in a mature man, she often behaves differently. She does not always want to appear too eager. She does not want to look impulsive or emotionally exposed. So instead of chasing, she watches. Instead of confessing, she tests. And instead of revealing her feelings directly, she asks simple questions that help her understand who you really are. That is where many men miss the moment. They hear the words, but not the intention behind them. They answer too fast, too proudly, or too carelessly. They think they are in an ordinary conversation, when in truth, they are standing in front of a quiet, emotional doorway. The woman is not merely asking for information. She is trying to discover your character. She wants to know whether your strength is real, whether your calm is genuine, and whether your presence is something she can trust. A younger man may try to impress her with noise. An older man attracts her through steadiness. That is the difference. Women who are drawn to maturity are often not looking for the loudest man in the room. They are looking for the one who knows who he is without needing to prove it every second. And these two questions become her quiet way of finding out whether you are that man. If you understand what is happening beneath the surface, you do not need to force attraction. You do not need to perform. You do not need to chase. Your awareness itself becomes attractive. Your ability to read the moment, remain composed, and respond with depth makes you stand out naturally. But if you miss the meaning behind those small tests, the opportunity can disappear just as quietly as it appeared. You may walk away thinking nothing happened, while she walks away thinking you were not as emotionally aware as she hoped. And that is how many men lose a meaningful chance without ever realizing it was there. 1. She's not asking for information, she's reading your life. A man who builds a life he enjoys will never need to chase attention. Attention will naturally find him. When a woman asks you, "What do you usually do in your free time?" don't be fooled by how simple it sounds, because this is not a casual question. It is one of those subtle psychology tricks rooted deeply in female psychology, and what she is really doing is quietly studying your lifestyle, your mindset, and your sense of self without ever saying it directly. That is how female psychology works: calm on the surface, but always observing beneath. And you must understand this if you truly want to master how to fall in love in a mature, grounded way. Because your answer is not just information, it is a reflection of your identity, your habits, and your emotional independence. Don't answer like a man who is waiting for life to happen. Don't say, "I don't do much, I just wait until someone calls me," because that signals that your world is empty without others filling it. And that is something a perceptive woman will immediately notice. Instead, be the man who has rhythm in his life, who moves with purpose, who values his own time. Because when you say something like, "I like to read, I stay active, and I spend time alone to think and reset," you are quietly showing depth, discipline, and peace. And that is what truly stands out. Be clear about this. She is not testing your hobbies. She is testing your relationship with yourself. That is the core of these psychology tricks. A man who enjoys his own company is a man who is not easily shaken, not easily controlled by attention, and not easily lost in a relationship. And in female psychology, that kind of man feels safe, stable, and intriguing at the same time. You must understand this is not about impressing her with fancy activities or trying too hard to sound interesting. That is not the point. The point is to show that your life already has meaning, already has structure, already has direction, with or without her presence. That is how to fall in love the right way, not by chasing validation, but by standing firmly in your own world and allowing connection to grow naturally. Don't perform. Be real. Be grounded. That is where your strength is. And here is something most men miss. Silence speaks louder than exaggeration. So you don't need to list 10 different things to sound valuable. You just need to communicate calmly that you have standards for your time, that you invest in yourself, that you don't waste your days waiting for excitement to appear. That is what makes her pause. That is what makes her think. Because through this one simple question, she is asking herself, does this man have a life I can respect? And more importantly, is he someone who will add to my life, not depend on it? These are the hidden layers behind simple conversations, the quiet psychology tricks that shape attraction without noise or drama. So, next time you hear that question, don't rush. Don't downplay yourself. Don't shrink your life to sound humble. Stand in your truth. Speak with calm confidence. Let your answer reflect a man who is already whole, already moving forward, already at peace. Because in the end, mastering female psychology and understanding these psychology tricks is not about changing who you are. It is about revealing the strength that is already there. And that is the foundation of how to fall in love in a way that is real, steady, and lasting. 2. Questions about your past test your emotional maturity. She may ask, why did your last relationship end? And on the surface, it sounds simple, almost polite, like casual conversation over coffee. But don't be fooled. This is not curiosity. This is a test, a quiet, precise test of your emotional maturity, your self awareness, and the way you carry your past into the present. And this is where many men reveal more than they intend. They rush, they defend, they blame. They say, she was difficult, or it just didn't work out because of her. Stop right there. Don't do that. That is not strength. That is not what a high value man communicates. A man who wants to attract women, and not just any women, but the right ones, must understand this. How you speak about your past is how you prove your growth. Be calm, be grounded, be honest without being bitter. That is masculine energy. When you say something like, we grew apart, but I learned a lot from it, you are not just answering a question. You are telling a story about who you are now. You are showing that you can reflect, that you can take responsibility, that you can grow without carrying resentment like a heavy coat you refuse to take off. And that matters more than you think. Because a woman who is considering an older man is not just looking for experience. She is looking for wisdom. She is asking herself, does this man repeat patterns or has he risen above them? Understand this clearly. Your past is not the problem. Your relationship with your past is the test. You must own it, not glorify it, not deny it. Own it. That is what separates a high value man from someone who is still reacting instead of leading. And when you own it, you create trust, you create safety, you create the kind of presence that naturally attracts women without effort or performance. Because real masculine energy does not argue, does not complain, does not seek validation. It stands firm in truth. Don't overshare. Don't turn it into a long emotional speech. Be sharp, be clear, be composed. Short sentences, calm tone, direct eye contact. That is power. That is control. And more importantly, that is emotional discipline. Because what she is really asking is not about your ex. She is asking, how will you handle me when things get difficult? And your answer, whether you realize it or not, tells her everything. So don't fall into the trap of blaming. Don't paint yourself as the victim of every story. That signals unfinished business. That signals a man still stuck. Instead, show her you've moved forward. Show her you've taken lessons, not scars. That is the difference. A high value man doesn't carry the past as baggage, he carries it as wisdom. And that wisdom is what makes him steady, attractive, and deeply respected. Be the man who can say, it ended, and that's okay. I learned, I grew, I became better. That is confidence without noise. That is masculine energy without force. And that is exactly the kind of presence that continues to attract women, naturally, consistently, and without chasing. 3. She asks about your goals to see your direction. When a woman looks at you and calmly asks, what are you working toward right now? Understand this clearly. She is not making small talk. She is measuring your direction, your discipline, your future. She is trying to feel whether you are a man who moves with intention or a man who drifts. And drifting is never attractive, not in today's fast moving world and not in any time in history. Because, as Seneca once said, if a man knows not to which port he sails, no wind is favorable. That is the core truth you must carry. Direction is power. Direction is presence. Direction is masculine certainty. When you say, I'm just going with the flow, you are unconsciously telling her you have handed your life over to chance, that you react instead of lead, that you exist instead of build, and that quietly erodes attraction. But when you respond with clarity, I'm building financial stability, I'm creating a life that means something, I'm improving myself every day, you signal something deeper than words. You show structure, you show vision, you show an iron mind. This is where old Stoic wisdom becomes your advantage, because a man grounded in purpose does not chase validation, he creates value. He does not wait for opportunity, he prepares for it. He does not speak in vague hopes, he acts in defined goals. And women feel this difference instantly. In modern life, where distractions are endless and most people are scattered, a focused man stands out without trying. He becomes rare. He becomes magnetic. He becomes a natural leader in his own life. And that is exactly what Stoicism win is about. Winning by mastering yourself first, by building a life so structured and intentional that others naturally respect it. Do not misunderstand this. She is not asking you to impress her with big dreams or unrealistic ambitions. She is asking if you are committed to something real, something steady, something that shows you are moving forward. Because movement is life, growth is life, and stagnation is something people instinctively move away from. You must be able to answer that question with calm certainty, not loud excitement, not empty promises, but grounded clarity. Because confidence is quiet, direction is simple, purpose is consistent. When you combine these, you project a presence that does not need approval. Remember the words of Marcus Aurelius: waste no more time arguing what a good man should be one. That is your instruction. Do not talk about direction, live it. Do not explain your purpose, demonstrate it. Do not wait for the perfect plan, build step by step. Because a man with direction does not need to convince anyone, his life speaks for him. In today's world, where many men are lost in comfort, distractions, and endless scrolling, your discipline becomes your edge. Your clarity becomes your advantage. Your iron mind becomes your foundation. And this is why old Stoic wisdom still wins. It teaches you to focus on what you can control, to build daily habits, to stay steady under pressure, to move forward regardless of mood. That consistency is what creates attraction, respect, and long term success. So when that question comes again, and it will, do not hesitate. Do not deflect. Do not shrink your answer. Stand firm in your path. Speak with clarity, and most importantly, live in alignment with your words. Because direction is not something you say once, it is something you prove every single day. That is how Stoicism win becomes real in your life. That is how you develop an iron mind. That is how you become the man who does not chase attention, but naturally attracts it, not by trying harder, but by living sharper, stronger, and more intentional than most. And if this hits you, don't just watch, act. Drop this in the comments right now. I move with purpose, not excuses. Because direction is power, and a man without direction gets overlooked every time. Like the video, subscribe for more sharp, unfiltered insight, and remind yourself daily, a man who knows where he's going never needs to chase anyone. 4. Light questions test deep confidence. Understand this clearly. When a woman asks you something light, something almost playful like, "Do you think you're an interesting person?" she is not asking for information, she is reading your internal world. That is one of the subtle psychology tricks rooted deeply in female psychology, and if you miss it, you miss the entire game. This is not about your answer, it is about your state, your pause, your tone, your energy. That is what she feels. Hesitate and you communicate doubt. Start listing achievements and you signal that you need validation. Both lose power. Both break attraction. You must understand this. Confidence is not spoken loudly, it is felt quietly. That is how to Fall in Love truly works at a deeper level, emotion first, logic later. So don't overthink, don't perform, be grounded. A man who is centered does not rush to prove himself, and he does not shrink from the moment either. He stands still, calm, aware. That is what she is testing. That is what these psychology tricks are designed to reveal. When you respond with something like, "I think I have my own depth," the right people see it. You are not trying to impress, you are setting a standard. You are saying, without saying it, "I don't chase approval. I recognize value, including my own." That is quiet confidence. That is strength without noise. And in female psychology, this is magnetic because it signals emotional stability, something rare and deeply attractive. Don't confuse confidence with performance. Don't confuse silence with weakness. A composed man speaks when needed, and when he does, his words land. That is power. Many men fail here because they think attraction is built through constant talking, constant proving, constant entertaining. No, attraction is built through presence, through control, through knowing who you are without needing to announce it. This is one of the core psychology tricks that separates men who are respected from men who are overlooked. You must learn to sit comfortably in your own skin. Be the man who doesn't rush to fill silence. Be the man who doesn't panic when tested. Because these small questions, these light, almost casual moments, are where she decides if you are safe to admire or easy to dismiss. And here is the deeper truth about how to fall in love. People don't fall for perfection, they fall for emotional certainty. They fall for someone who feels solid, real, grounded. So don't try to be perfect. Be steady, be clear, be at ease with who you are. That is enough. That is more than enough. When you understand female psychology, you stop reacting and start leading the interaction with calm awareness. You see the test for what it is, and you don't resist it. You pass it by simply being centered. No tension, no overreaction, just presence. That is the difference. That is the edge. So the next time you hear a question that sounds simple, remember this. It is never just a question. It is a window into your confidence. Step into it with calm certainty. Speak less, mean more. and let her feel the depth you don't need to explain. 5. She watches how you answer, not just what you say. Your tone, your posture, your presence. That is where the real message lives. Most men think attraction is about saying the right thing. It's not. Words are only the surface. Beneath them is something deeper, your energy. And that's exactly what she is reading. Every pause, every shift in your voice, every small movement in your body. She is not just listening to your answer, she is feeling your certainty. Look at this closely. Right words, nervous delivery, right pointing arrow, uncertain signal. Simple words, calm energy, right pointing arrow, undeniable presence. Do you see the difference? A man can memorize perfect lines, but if his voice shakes, if his eyes wander, if his body tightens, the message collapses. It tells her something without saying a word. I'm not fully grounded, and that breaks attraction instantly. But a high value man understands something most overlook. He knows that calm energy speaks louder than clever language. He doesn't rush. He doesn't over explain. He doesn't try to impress. He simply is. That is masculine energy. When she asks you a question, don't just focus on the answer. Focus on how you deliver it. Sit back, breathe, hold your frame. Let your words come out slowly, naturally. No tension. No need to prove anything, because the moment you try to prove, you lose power. Be calm. Be steady. That is strength. Think about this. A man who says, "Yeah, I enjoy my work and I'm building something meaningful," while maintaining eye contact and speaking with ease, feels completely different from a man who says the same sentence but fidgets, rushes, and looks unsure. Same words, different energy, different outcome. Attraction is built on energy, not just language. And here's the truth most men avoid. Women are incredibly sensitive to emotional consistency. They can feel when something is off. You might think you're hiding your nervousness, but your body always tells the truth. Your shoulders tighten, your voice speeds up, your breathing changes, and she picks up on all of it instantly. So don't try to fake confidence, build real presence. How? Slow down your responses, pause before you speak, keep your voice steady and relaxed. Hold eye contact without forcing it. These are small adjustments, but they create a powerful shift. They signal control. They signal awareness. They signal that you are comfortable in your own skin. That is what helps you attract women naturally. A high value man doesn't chase approval. He doesn't perform for validation. He understands that his presence alone carries weight. And because of that, he becomes magnetic without trying. You must remember this. She is not testing your intelligence. She is testing your emotional stability. Can you stay calm under attention? Can you remain centered when observed? Can you hold your ground without overreacting? That is the real test. And most men fail not because they lack knowledge, but because they lack control over their own energy. So don't overcomplicate this. You don't need perfect words. You need controlled presence. Be the man who speaks less but means more. Be the man whose silence feels stronger than another man's explanation. Be the man whose energy makes her feel safe, curious, and drawn in. That is masculine energy at its core. And when you master this, something shifts. You stop trying to attract women and you start becoming the man they naturally gravitate toward. Because in the end, she won't remember every word you said, but she will always remember how you made her feel in that moment. And that feeling comes from your presence. 6. She tests if you can be controlled. When she looks at you and casually asks, "Are you always this busy?" Understand this clearly. It is not a question about your schedule. It is a quiet test of your center, your discipline, your ability to hold your ground in a world that constantly pulls at a man's time and attention. This is where most men fail, not because they lack value, but because they abandon it too quickly. They rush to please, they drop everything, and in doing so, they send a loud, unspoken message. I can be moved, I can be shaped, I can be led. And that is exactly what breaks attraction. But you must not do that. You must stand firm, calm, and composed. Because a man who is easily redirected is a man without direction, and direction is everything. As Marcus Aurelius once said, you have power over your mind, not outside events. And that is the heart of this moment. You are not here to react. You are here to choose, to respond with intention, to show that your life already has structure, purpose, and weight. When you remain grounded, when you say, I have a full schedule, but I make time for what matters, you are not pushing her away. You are inviting her into a life that is already complete. And that is powerful. That is attractive. That is the signal of a man who lives by old Stoic wisdom, a man who understands that his time is his kingdom. In modern life, where distractions are endless and attention is cheap, the man who guards his time stands out immediately. He is rare, he is respected, he is desired, because he does not chase, he selects, he decides. Don't misunderstand this. You are not being cold, you are being clear. You are showing that you have standards, and standards create respect. Respect builds attraction. Remember this. People don't value what is always available. They value what is intentional, what is chosen with care. This is why Stoicism win is not just a phrase, it is a way of living. It is the discipline to stay steady when emotions try to pull you off course. It is the ability to remain calm when tested. It is the strength to say, I will not abandon my priorities just to be liked, because a man who seeks approval loses himself, but a man with an iron mind builds a life others are drawn to. Repeat that to yourself. Be steady. Be intentional. Be unshaken. That is the standard. And here is the deeper truth. She is not trying to control you. She is trying to discover you. She is asking, is this a man who stands on his own or a man who adjusts to me? And your answer is not in your words, it is in your behavior, in your calm, in your pace, in your refusal to rush. You must understand, attraction grows in the presence of certainty, not in the chaos of overreaction. So don't drop everything. Don't rearrange your world at the first sign of interest. Don't prove your worth by sacrificing your structure. Instead, show her that your life is already meaningful, already directed, already strong. And if she joins something real. That is how old Stoic wisdom shapes a modern man. That is how Stoicism win becomes a living reality. That is how an iron mind is built, not in grand gestures, but in small, consistent decisions where you choose discipline over impulse, clarity over confusion, purpose over pleasing. And when you master this, when you truly live this, you don't just pass her test, you redefine it. Because now you are no longer reacting to her question, you are leading the frame of the interaction itself, calm, grounded, and unshakable. If you felt that, then you already understand the game, and you're no longer playing it blindly. Most men fail this test because they give up their time, their focus, their power, just to be liked. Don't be that man. Be the one who stays centered, who respects his own path, who sets the tone without apology. Because the truth is simple. The moment you can't be controlled, you become truly attractive. Now prove it to yourself. Drop this in the comments. I respect my time and I set my standards. 7. She asks about your circle to understand your status. When a woman is genuinely interested in an older man, she rarely says it directly. Instead, she observes, she listens, and she tests. One of the most revealing psychology tricks comes through a simple question that sounds casual but carries weight. What are your friends like? Now, understand this clearly. This is not small talk. This is female psychology at work. This is her quietly measuring your environment, your standards, and your identity without ever stating it outright. Because whether you realize it or not, your circle speaks before you do. It tells your story before you open your mouth, and it reveals what you tolerate, what you value, and what kind of life you are building. If your answer drifts toward negativity, they complain a lot, they're just getting by, we just hang out and pass time, then don't be surprised when her interest quietly fades. Because in her mind, that signals stagnation, lack of direction, and low emotional ambition. But if your answer reflects intention, they're focused, they're building something, they challenge me to grow, then you communicate strength without saying a word. You show that you live by standards, not by chance. And that is exactly how to fall in love in a mature, grounded way. Because attraction at this level is not built on charm alone, it is built on alignment and respect. You must understand this deeply. You are not judged in isolation, you are judged in context. The people around you are mirrors, and those mirrors either sharpen your image or distort it. Don't ignore this. Don't downplay it. Be intentional. Because a man who surrounds himself with driven, disciplined, and positive individuals sends a clear message. He values growth, he protects his energy, and he knows where he is going. That is power. That is presence. That is the silent language of high standards. As Jim Rohn once said, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. And in the world of female psychology, that truth carries even more weight. Because she is not just evaluating who you are today, she is predicting who you will become tomorrow based on the environment you choose to stay in. So don't settle for circles that drain you. Don't justify relationships that hold you back. Be selective. Be deliberate. Build a circle that reflects the life you want, not the life you are trying to escape. Because when she asks that simple question, she is not just asking about your friends, she is asking about your standards, your discipline, and your future. And if you want to master these psychology tricks, if you truly want to understand female psychology and learn how to fall in love in a way that creates respect, attraction, and long term connection, then start here. Elevate your circle, protect your mindset, and choose your environment like your future depends on it, because it does. 8. She tests your patience. She tests your patience. And no, it's rarely obvious. It doesn't come with a warning label. It shows up quietly, almost playfully, wrapped inside repeated questions, subtle challenges, or moments that feel just slightly inconvenient. She might ask the same thing twice. She might question your decision in a gentle tone. She might even create a small delay or a mild disagreement just to observe what happens next. Don't dismiss this. Don't rush past it. This is not randomness. This is observation in motion. That is the moment where your masculine energy is being measured without a single word being said about it. Now, understand this clearly. Patience is not about waiting. It is about how you behave while waiting. Anyone can stay silent for a few seconds, but not every man can stay grounded when his expectations are not immediately met. Not every man can remain composed when his rhythm is interrupted. And that is exactly why this test exists. She is not just listening to your answers. She is reading your reactions. She is watching your timing. She is feeling your emotional stability in real time. Example: she repeats a question you already answered. Maybe something simple like, "So you're really busy this week?" You already explained it. You already made it clear. Yet here it comes again. Now pause. This is where most men slip without realizing it. They react, they sigh, they get slightly irritated. Their tone shifts just enough to reveal tension. And in that tiny shift, the message is sent. Pressure creates cracks. That is not the signal of a high value man. But there is another path, a stronger path. You hear the repeated question, and instead of reacting, you respond with calm clarity. You don't rush, you don't defend, you don't over explain. You simply reaffirm your position, steady and relaxed, as if nothing has been disturbed. That is power. That is control. That is masculine energy in its purest form. You must understand this deeply. Women are not testing your words nearly as much as they are testing your emotional consistency. Words can be rehearsed, confidence can be imitated for a moment, but patience exposes truth. Because when a man is truly grounded, he doesn't need to protect his ego in every small interaction. He doesn't feel threatened by repetition. He doesn't feel challenged by minor friction. He remains steady, always. And here is the deeper layer most men miss. These moments are not about winning or losing. They are about revealing who you are under pressure. Life itself will repeat questions. Challenges will come again and again, just in different forms. If you lose your center over something small, what happens when something real hits? That is the silent question behind her behavior. Can you stay steady under pressure? Can you hold your frame when things are not perfectly smooth? Don't react emotionally. That is the rule. Because emotional reactions signal instability. They suggest that your internal state is controlled by external triggers. And once that pattern is seen, attraction begins to fade. Not because you said the wrong thing, but because you revealed a lack of control over yourself. And control over self is the foundation of attraction. Without it, nothing else holds. Be calm. That is the instruction. Be slow in your responses. Be deliberate. Let your tone remain even. Let your body language stay relaxed. When she challenges you subtly, don't lean forward trying to prove a point. Lean back into your certainty. That is the difference between chasing approval and embodying value. A high value man does not rush to correct every misunderstanding. He trusts his clarity. He trusts his direction. And here's something powerful. When you stay calm, you flip the dynamic without saying a word. Suddenly, she feels it, the stability, the grounded presence, the quiet confidence that doesn't need to raise its voice. That is what attracts women on a deeper level. Not loud confidence, not forced charm, but controlled, steady masculine energy that remains unshaken even when tested. Think about it this way. Anyone can be pleasant when things are easy. Anyone can smile when everything flows perfectly. But when tension appears, even in small doses, that's when character is revealed. That's when presence becomes real. That's when attraction either grows or disappears. You must train yourself for this, not just in dating, but in life. Start noticing your reactions. When something repeats, do you get impatient? When plans change, do you lose composure? When someone questions you, do you feel the need to defend immediately? These are the moments that shape your identity. These are the patterns that either build or break your image as a high value man. And here is the truth most men avoid. Patience is not passive, it is active control. It is the decision to remain centered when your instincts push you to react. It is discipline in emotional form. It is strength without noise. So when she tests your patience, don't take it personally. Don't label it as a problem. See it for what it is, an opportunity, a moment to demonstrate who you are without saying it directly, a moment to show that your calm is not temporary, but part of your nature. Because in the end, she's not asking, can you answer correctly? She's asking, can you handle pressure without losing yourself? And your reaction gives her the answer instantly. Stay steady, stay composed. That is how you pass the test. That is how you attract women without forcing anything. That is how masculine energy becomes something she can feel, not just hear. And once she feels that, everything changes. If this message hit you, don't just scroll past it. This is where most men slip, right at the moment pressure shows up. Stay calm, stay steady. That is the test. Like this video, subscribe for more real, unfiltered wisdom, and prove to yourself that you're not reacting, you're leading. Now comment this below and mean it. I stay calm under pressure. I am in control. 9. Questions about love test your emotional balance. What do you think about relationships? That question sounds simple, almost casual, but don't be fooled. It is not small talk. It is a test, a precise test, a quiet measurement of your emotional balance, your inner stability, and your ability to stand firm in a world that constantly pulls men off center. When a woman asks this, she is not just listening to your words, she is studying your frame, your tone, your certainty. This is where many men reveal too much need without realizing it. They say, I need love to feel complete, thinking it sounds honest, romantic, even deep. But what it actually signals is dependency. It tells her that your happiness is negotiable, that your identity can shift depending on who stands in front of you. And that is where attraction quietly fades. A man grounded in old Stoic wisdom understands something different. He knows love is powerful, but it is not his foundation. He does not build his life on something external, he builds it within. So his answer sounds different: calm, measured, unshaken. I value love, but I remain myself. That is strength. That is clarity. That is the voice of a man who has done the work. As Marcus Aurelius once said, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. That is the essence of this moment. You must not hand over your emotional control. You must not outsource your sense of worth. Because the modern world constantly pressures men to chase validation through relationships, through attention, through approval. But Stoicism, win, is about resisting that pressure. It is about choosing self mastery over emotional chaos. It is about becoming the man who enjoys love but does not depend on it to function. And here is the truth most men avoid: women are not looking for a man who needs them, they are drawn to a man who chooses them. There is a massive difference. Need creates pressure, choice creates attraction. Need says, I cannot live without you. Choice says, my life is already full, and I invite you into it. That is an iron mind. That is presence. That is what makes a man unforgettable. In modern dating, this test shows up everywhere: on first dates, in casual conversations, even in text messages. She might ask indirectly, she might joke about relationships, she might challenge your views. But the purpose is always the same. Can you stay centered? Can you express desire without losing control? Can you stand in your identity without bending under emotional pressure? Most men fail here because they try to impress, they over explain, they overgive, they chase approval. Don't do that. Don't overcomplicate it. Be clear, be grounded, be steady. That is the instruction. Because when you speak from a place of completeness, your words carry weight, your silence carries weight, even your presence carries weight. You don't need to convince anyone. You don't need to prove your value. You simply are. As Epictetus taught, no man is free who is not master of himself, and mastery is exactly what she is looking for, even if she never says it out loud. She wants a man who can love deeply but never lose direction, a man who can connect emotionally but never collapse into dependence. A man who can walk away if needed, not out of pride, but out of self-respect. That is where real power lives. So when you hear that question, what do you think about relationships? Pause for a moment. Don't rush. Don't react emotionally. Answer with intention. Answer with clarity. Let your response reflect a life already in order, not a life waiting to be completed. Because here's the deeper layer. This is not just about her test. This is about your standard, your philosophy, your identity as a man. If you don't define it, someone else will. And once you start bending to fit expectations, you lose something far more valuable than any relationship. You lose yourself. That is why old Stoic wisdom matters more today than ever before. It reminds you to return to center, to detach from outcomes, to focus on what you can control: your thoughts, your actions, your standards. That is Stoicism win. And when you live this way consistently, something powerful happens. You stop chasing. You stop proving. You stop negotiating your worth. Instead, you attract. Naturally, effortlessly, because people can feel it. They can sense when a man is anchored in something deeper. This is not about being cold. This is not about shutting down emotions. It is about balance, emotional strength, emotional discipline. You feel deeply, but you do not get carried away. You care, but you do not lose control. That is the balance she is testing. That is the balance you must develop. Build an iron mind. Strengthen your internal world. Make your identity so solid that no question, no test, no situation can shake it. And remember this: love is not your foundation. You are. Love is something you share, not something you depend on. Hold that line. Stay grounded, stay sharp, stay in control. That is how you pass the test. That is how you win, not just in relationships, but in life. 10. In the end, she's looking for safety, not perfection. In the end, understand this clearly. All her questions, all her subtle behaviors, all those small, almost invisible psychology tricks are not random. They are not games without purpose. They all point in one direction. She is searching for emotional safety, not perfection. That is the truth most men overlook, especially when trying to decode female psychology, because they assume they must impress, perform, or outshine everyone else. But no, that is not what creates connection. That is not how to fall in love in a real, lasting way. She is quietly asking herself, can I relax around this man? Can I trust his reactions? Can I feel calm in his presence? And every word you say, every pause, every reaction becomes part of her answer. Don't rush to prove your worth with status or material success. Don't assume being the most attractive man in the room gives you the advantage, because it doesn't guarantee emotional safety, and without that, attraction fades fast. Be consistent, be grounded, be clear. That is what she measures. That is what she remembers. For example, when she asks you something simple, maybe even repetitive, she is not just asking for information. She is observing your tone, your patience, your stability. Because in female psychology, consistency signals reliability, and reliability builds trust. If your mood swings, if your words shift depending on pressure, she feels uncertainty, and uncertainty creates distance. But when you remain steady, when your words align with your actions over time, something powerful happens. She begins to feel safe without even realizing why. That is how to fall in love naturally, not through force, not through performance, but through emotional stability that she can lean into. Understand this deeply. Women are not looking for flawless men. They are looking for predictable strength, the kind that doesn't shake under pressure, the kind that doesn't disappear when things get uncomfortable. Don't overcomplicate it. Don't try to outplay these psychology tricks. Instead, rise above them by becoming the man who doesn't need to react to every test because he understands their purpose. When she challenges you, don't take it personally. Be calm. When she questions you, don't become defensive. Be clear. When she pulls back slightly, don't chase impulsively. Stay centered. That is how you show her, without saying a word, that you are emotionally stable. And emotional stability is rare. It stands out more than looks, more than money, more than charm. In the world of female psychology, the man who can hold his frame, who can stay composed when things are uncertain, is the man who becomes unforgettable. Think about it. Anyone can be impressive for a moment, but very few can be steady over time. And that steadiness is what creates long-term attraction. That is how to fall in love in a way that lasts beyond excitement. Don't aim to be perfect, because perfection creates pressure, and pressure creates distance. Instead, aim to be real, but controlled. calm but confident, open but grounded. That balance is where emotional safety lives. And here's the truth most men need to hear: she doesn't need you to solve every problem. She doesn't need you to have all the answers. But she does need to feel that your presence is stable, that your energy is not chaotic, that your reactions are not unpredictable. Because when a woman feels emotionally safe, she opens naturally, she invests willingly, she connects deeply without fear. And all those psychology tricks, all those subtle tests start to fade away because she no longer needs to question you. She already feels the answer. So be that man, not the one who tries to win every interaction, but the one who creates calm in every interaction. Don't chase validation, build presence. Don't react emotionally, respond intentionally. Don't focus on being liked, focus on being steady. That is the shift that separates temporary attraction from lasting connection. That is the core of female psychology. Simple, but not easy. Clear, but often ignored. And if you truly understand this, if you truly live it, you won't just pass her tests, you will move beyond them entirely, because you are no longer trying to prove anything. You are simply showing, through your consistent actions, that you are a man she can trust. And trust, more than anything else, is how to fall in love in a way that feels safe, real, and enduring. All right, my friend, thank you for staying with me until the very end. Here's something you need to carry with you. It's not about saying the perfect words. It's about becoming the kind of man who doesn't need to try so hard. Women don't choose perfection. They choose presence. They feel your energy before they judge your answers. So don't perform. Don't chase. Don't lose yourself trying to impress. Be calm. Be grounded. Be disciplined in your thoughts and your actions. That is where your power is. When you build that inner strength, that quiet confidence, something shifts. You stop chasing and life starts coming toward you. So take this seriously. Work on yourself every single day. Protect your standards and never trade your self-respect for attention. Stay strong, stay steady, and I'll see you in the next video.